This is King Bo Christ, and you're now tuned in to the I Say That to Say This show.
At all times.
Don't it always be like that? The barber always got a fucked up haircut.
True. Who's gonna be a barber's barber?
But he gives fresh cuts.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. Welcome to the show, goddammit.
Yeah.
The lovely Samara Fox.
Hello.
Smoke the dog. Did you touch me?
I didn't touch you. You touched my fucking ashtray, motherfucker. I am the CEO of Slap a Bitch Records.
And there you go. Welcome. Wake up, Mr. West.
We're all here.
Fuck Mr. West.
Oh, Jesus.
He better wake up. He's in a... He reminds me of that movie, what's that shit? Get Out. Yo, I think he's been...
You think he's been sunk?
I think he's been
I am drinking tea,
hypnotized.
so, you know.
Some experiments on his brain by the Kardashians. I think Kris Jenner's got him on lockdown. Like, yo, his brain is completely far from where he was 10 years ago.
I think I agree. Well, obviously not fucking doing experiments, but something's going on with that man.
Yeah.
Mr. West. I'm not going to say he's been sunk.
Supposedly he's bipolar. He's not taking his medication. That could be a lot of it, too.
You know, that would make sense, but I don't mean to offend the bipolar community because I'm probably on the edge. But I'm tired of motherfuckers just chalking it up like, I didn't take my meds, it's all good.
Mental
like,
illness.
no, bro. Like, you've been alive a long time. How old is Kanye? Like 42?
40.
He's 39. He's going to be 40.
Yeah.
All right, so he's 40.
Yeah.
Like, you're a 40-year-old man, my G. Like, come on.
Get over it.
You got to be a little bit more accountable for the things you say as a public figure. And not just people like me that put public figure in the Instagram bio and it doesn't mean shit. I mean, like, when people are actually looking for what you say and they're standing on your words, I think he's a little out of line. Not out of line, but...
But that wouldn't be him then, because he's like no holds barred. I say what I think. I say what I feel in the moment. That's it. Take it or leave it. That's how I look at it. Like Pac. A little bit like Pac. I see a little bit of Pac in him, a little bit.
Well, you know, I don't think Pac... And I was very young when Pac was around. So maybe if I was 29 and he was doing his thing, I would feel different. But I feel like Pac always had like a... I don't know, like not a...
Fight.
I'll say he didn't really have like a motive. Like if he spoke what was on his mind, it was what it was at the time. He spit at the camera like fuck you, it was fuck you.
Yeah.
He didn't go like, I feel like Kanye only comes out when there's some shit that's about to happen. Like if it was just a random Tuesday, like if it was a random Tuesday and he was wigging out on the internet, I'd be like, and tweeting going crazy, cool, fine. But he bugs out and then it'd be like, oh yeah, by the way, my album's coming out at the end of May. And I'm like, oh, well, damn. Like,
shit then. A little bit.
Look at the last 3 times.
True.
2 years ago with Pop, we didn't hear from the motherfucker for 2 years.
Yeah.
Before with Pablo, it was the same shit. We just went tweet crazy, and I was like, "What's going on with Kanye?" And they was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna give his album." Fool me once, can't fool me again. Now I'm like, "All right, motherfucker, just come out with it. You don't have to do. We don't need the antics."
Yeah.
I think that people would still listen to whatever he puts out, even if he didn't do all of this. But I do think that he says these things and like does mean them. Like I think that he might like hold back because he might feel like there's no reason to talk to reporters or, you know, TMZ or whomever it is if there's no purpose for him.
Yeah.
Because what is he getting out of that? Nothing.
True.
So I think that he's just doing what he's supposed to do, which is like talk to these people because he has to promote something.
Yeah.
And this is really how he feels. And I understand why it's perceived as that he's crazy or that he's like lost it. And I think that the message kind of gets lost in translation from the words that come out of his mouth, because sometimes like everybody can't handle the realness of situations and of life. Even what he was saying, so on like the TMZ interview, he was saying that like even when you disagree with a person, you still like with his like whole love thing, you still have to respect and love them like as a person. You can agree to disagree, but the only way to be transparent and open lines of communication and try to understand where people are coming from, and that goes for both sides. So for the white people who don't understand where African Americans are coming from, then they have to be open and transparent and be able to listen as well. It has to work both ways, but he's just trying to start that trend to say, like, you can feel however you want to feel and you can feel safe thinking how you want to think and feeling how you want to feel. I just want to know where it comes from so we can have a healthy conversation about it.
But though and I agree with that. I agree, but I feel, and with Kanye, Mr. West in particular, I think when he says things like, slavery was a choice, I know what he was getting at, but I think that does more harm than good as far as a productive conversation.
I think that he has a lot to say about these. These are very loaded issues.
Sure,
and these
100%.
are very loaded conversations that I don't think that you can come to even a meeting of the minds in a 45-minute segment of something. I know he had an hour and 45 minutes to talk to Charlemagne, which he seemed a lot more collected and he kind of knew where the conversation was going and what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
The TMZ thing, I think that it's like, you ever get in an argument with somebody, there's so many things that you want to say, and then you're so riled up that it's like you just say certain things, but then you're not saying it in the right order to really communicate your thoughts. And I think that me personally, I don't think that slavery was a choice. But I think that, it's not only, women have been oppressed in this country in every country,
Some crazy
so
shit
I
is
don't think that oppression is a choice.
Black men were able to vote before white women, which is like, not for real. If you go back and look at it, I was looking at that shit and I was thinking about that, like that is, I don't know what it says, but it says like something, I don't know.
Men are respected more than women in America?
I know it's a pecking order. I can't really sit here right now and tell you what it is, but it is.
I can say the white man is definitely at the top.
Yeah.
But I do understand the concept that he was saying, that allowing yourself to be oppressed and put down and accepting the things that someone else is telling you about yourself. That's a choice.
I agree with that. And can we? And I don't want to jump away from Kanye just yet. But you said something that was crazy, and that's why I found that article when it was like the white man is it? Well, not why I found the article, but why I brought up the article.
Right.
That the white man is at the top. In the article, we'll get into it. It says that over the course of to a black man in a white man's lifetime, the white man is inclined to make more money. When I first saw it, I wasn't like, oh, well, that's the game. I was like, bullshit. Hold on. Show me some motherfuckers that's 28. Some, you know what I'm saying? And let's really run the numbers. But it's obviously more white males than it is black males. So I was looking at the article and I didn't really, and I think it did a very good job. And for those listening, that probably don't even care, we'll put it in the show notes anyway. But I think that's where I feel a little bit different. It's like, I don't go into something like, if I go into an interview, right? And I see 4 white men sitting there, I'm never ever gonna say in my brain like, might as well not even try. They're here. I'll be like, fuck it. We'll see what happens. So I think I don't really know how to explain it because I can't think for anyone else. But as far as I'm concerned, like I don't feed into that fuck shit. It's gonna be what it's gonna be because I know poor white people, I know poor black people, I know rich white people, I know really wealthy white people, and I know rich black people. I don't know any really wealthy white people black people personally, but I'm not like
they're out there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sitting here like, oh shucks, there's no black billion. Like, nah, they're not around me, but they're around. You know what I'm saying? So, I think, and we'll jump back to Kanye and bounce back and forth a little bit, but he had the right message. But coming from me is one thing. Who the fuck am I? Coming from him, I think because his audience is a lot. It's pretty diverse, if I say so.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, so I think when like a 29-year-old white guy hears what Kanye says, he may take it different. I don't know. Like, how did you?
I think that fame and a platform is a lot of power for a lot of people. And I don't think that necessarily they realize that their opinion has the ability to persuade others.
They know that shit. They've been saying, "Oh, I'm not a role model," blah blah. They know damn well.
I agree.
No.
I think that's why they're trying to sell us something, because they know.
But I don't think that they understand that it's consistently that way. Like when you sign on to do something and become a celebrity for whatever it is, whether it be music or it's art or it's fashion, you're signing on to do what you do and be influential in your field. You don't, there's no like, well, this should matter for me and this is just my opinion. Because we idolize, and he's talked about idols, and he doesn't believe in those things because we idolize these celebrities. We take their word to be more important than your word, who actually, like, you guys know me, you know my life. I should be more inclined to want to have a conversation with either of you about your political opinions and want to understand your political views than I should somebody who I don't know and he's good at making music and sneakers.
Sure. He's not good at sneakers, but people buy it.
A lot of people like them, so I can't, I'm not here to say that, but I think that it's really the public's fault for giving celebrity that much weight.
That's America. It's always been America since the beginning of Hollywood.
I don't think so.
We've always idolized our actresses, like those actresses back in the 30s and 40s that we all look up to.
Yeah, but you have to also understand, like when we were growing up, we didn't hear or see tweets or see social media on a consistent basis. There weren't cameras everywhere you go. We didn't know about when, we didn't have pictures in tabloids of like, here's Whitney taking Bobby Christina to school. Yeah. It wasn't that easy. When they spoke to us, it was always a booked interview to talk about a project. Their PR was on deck, and they had questions they can and cannot answer and ask. And we saw a narrow vision of who these stars were because it was what they wanted to allow us to see. It
actually made them mysterious. It made you more of a fan of them now.
Right. And then now it's like Mariah. You couldn't tell me anything about Mariah when I was younger. I mean, my life motto still is, what would Mariah do?
Now you see the real Mariah now.
But the thing is that now with all of this access that we have to these, they're people. Mm-hmm. None of us are perfect. If cameras followed us around all the time,
I used to be.
Right. So if cameras followed us around all the time, I can guarantee that there would be a lot of shit that we look like, that we say, and that we do, that they will turn around and misinterpret and then go crazy. There shouldn't be that much bearing on it. It's like Kanye West does music and fashion. So let's judge him on music and fashion.
I think
But when he comes out and says offensive shit that the whole world's gonna see, I mean, people have their opinions about it. People are gonna...
Right, everyone is entitled to like an opinion, but I think that to then question his mental health. Yeah.
Well, you can see he's crazy. I mean...
I don't think you can see that.
You can't see that when he's talking to Charlemagne and zooming in on him and you can see every little molecule in his face with the 4 camera HD bullshit. And you can see in his eyes, he's a little cuckoo. He's talking... I don't even think he knows what he's talking about half the time. He's just talking to talk. I think he doesn't understand what he's saying, really, in my opinion. And let me tell you another thing, all right?
Please. Tell us how you really feel.
What I took from that interview, I was thinking, like, damn, man, this guy's got so much mental problems going on right now, so many, like, opinions about. I don't know how he could have a functioning relationship with Kim Kardashian. How do you handle that? That's a lot of pressure to be with that woman.
You want to take
Well,
Kim
I couldn't have her.
Kardashian.
I'll fuck her, but I can't be with her because that's too much pressure every day. Oh my god, I gotta look good. Oh my god, I gotta work out. I gotta do this. He got liposuction, the poor fucking guy.
Yeah, that was like
Addicted to opioids in
Wow.
that fucking
Yeah, but-
family. That family will fuck you up, man. They make you chop off your dick and turn it into a
silly.
vagina.
That's silly. It's not the family. You have to understand that.
It's that family. He
It's
wasn't
the
like that
fame.
before the Kardashians. He wasn't like this. This is new Kanye. I miss the old one. You know?
I mean, Kanye
Before
was
Kim,
always
pre-Kim.
wild.
Yeah, but he was more like, I don't know, man.
He was more marginalized.
How do you go from George Bush doesn't care about black people to
not caring about black people.
basically?
I don't think he doesn't care about black people.
What has he ever
That's
said
not
about
the
Black Lives
message
Matter?
That I got.
What was his message about Black Lives Matter? Nothing.
Well, so he did refer to that Candace lady. You know who I'm talking about?
No.
No clue.
She was on the TMZ interview.
Okay.
He retweeted her saying he loves the way she thinks. And she was
Is this
saying,
the young girl with the bald head?
Nah.
That's not the young girl. Because he was like, "Oh, you're my hero." She was like, "You're not my hero."
I think that was.
Yeah, that's a no.
That's not her.
That's
No.
not
Oh, that's another girl.
Well, so Candace said about the Black Lives Matter that essentially that since the Black Lives Matter movement, killing of black people nationwide has went up 17%.
That's crazy.
Has it went up?
So, yes.
I feel like it's always been the same, man.
No. There's definitely
Why would it go up?
seasons.
I
feel like cops would be more
Because
inclined to not
cops
fuck with
didn't
nobody.
want to do their jobs now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why would it go up?
Right. So where are police needed a lot of the time? In lower income and
the people don't- the
usually
people in that community don't-
minority communities.
But those communities don't want them there no more. They'd rather police themselves.
Right. That's not going well.
Yeah.
I know. See, that was the.
We can't police ourselves.
When all these killings were going on with, the police.
Yeah.
I said to myself, I was like, listen, the only way we're gonna get this shit is you got to show white people getting killed by the police. Because if you just it's
So
the only way. You can't just say like a black man was killed, a black man was killed, a black man
So
was killed.
statistically, it's 0.004% of the police brutality killings that are black people.
0.004.
Yes.
That means.
But when
on
you
what
think about
scale
it,
of, like,
but
how
when
many-
you think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it, that's probably an overall figure, and there's a lot more white people.
That's why I asked. Right.
The saturation amongst each of these races, if you look at only black people, then there's Asian people, there's Hispanic
scared about
people, there's Indian people. No, I'm
gonna
saying
hop out
that
of the car?
like out of all of the different people we have here, I don't know the percentage, but it's a big difference between everybody else and then African Americans. So I think it has to kind of be better represented, like to scale.
That's why
instead of
I
an
say-
overall number.
That's why I say if you want to be like, hey, what the hell is the police doing? You can't just focus on one. If the police was out killing Asian men and it was Asian, Korean lives matter,
I don't think nobody give a shit, to be honest, man.
they don't give a shit now. That's exactly my
No, people
point.
give a shit about the Black Lives
Well,
Matter
so
shit.
Candace's point was there's always going to be a certain margin for things like that happening, but there are bigger issues that are within the African American community that we should be fighting for. So not that these things don't matter or but when it's that small of a margin, and then because you now speak out, which it's a double sword for me, because silencing voices in general is a part of oppression. So I feel like, I get what she's saying, that like we did the Black Lives Matter, it's affecting 0.004%. And now killings of African American people have went up 17% because the cops can't do their jobs in the places that we need them. They don't want to go to work. They don't want to do what they have to do because
you mean black on black crime is going up? crime in general is going on.
Murders and killings in general.
Okay. I thought you said police shootings were going on.
No.
Okay, that makes sense.
Killings in general went up 17% because if I'm white and I've seen what's happened, I might say like I don't want to get involved in this shootout because if I end up shooting the shot, I'm gonna be the next person they trying to execute, publicly.
Fire you,
So that's why so now in the places where police presence is needed the most, police don't want to go there because they're being disrespected.
Yeah. And
they're like, and I don't want to be the next
story on the news.
When I was just doing my job. So her perspective on it is that like we're fighting for that, and then that actually ended up hurting us. But there's bigger issues. To refer back to the article, it did say that Black men are more likely to be successful in communities where it's more frequent to have a father figure around, even if father's in the homes, in the community. So even if it's not your own father, they have positive role models, mentors, and people to talk to within the community. Single mother homes is a known issue for the African American community. Incarceration, which obviously goes back to the justice system being unfair, but those are things that we should rally against more so than smaller specific instances, because death obviously is something that's going to shock us and we're going to say like this is not right. But the difference between while there's less Black people in the United States than there is collectively everybody else, there's more Black people incarcerated than any other race. That's a problem. That's something we need to figure out. That's something we ought to be fighting for, is equal things in the justice system.
I mean, and that's what I guess I want to hold right there. Like, what are we fighting? Like, what? I really don't. I don't know. I feel like I'm giving up on the world. I swear to God, I am.
The world's going crazy.
Like, what the fuck, we? Like, what are you gonna do? Just picket signs and all this other shit and what? Like, this shit ain't getting us nowhere. I really don't even know what to do. And I've been having this conversation on this podcast for a long time of like, it's motivating. Like, let's think of solutions, and then like, it's some shit next week. And then next week we won't even remember Kanye. Whatever the fuck's gonna happen next week, we won't be talking about Kanye, but it'll be
So I do think that something like that Kanye is even saying, as far as to understand the, I guess, like opposing side, you can't really have opposing sides if everyone agrees to accept each other and love each other as people. Like, I love you and I respect you because you're a person and so am I. I want to understand where you're coming from. To have that open dialogue is the only way to move really forward and to hear each other and to be transparent with each other. Now, don't get me wrong. There are going to be some KKK motherfuckers out there that are like, and I've seen interviews like this because I love documentaries, that they're saying like, they don't have any real facts. They don't have any proof. They don't have the data to say. They have nothing to say or rebut somebody challenging their views. They are only this way because that is what they were taught. That Black people and Spanish people and mixed people and Asian people and Jewish people and everybody and the mother except for them are bad. And when you try to say that's not true and meet it with facts, they shut down. And they don't have any. What are you going to rebut a fact with? Feelings. Feelings aren't real. And
that's what I was going to say, that people aren't listening for healthy conversations anymore. I think people, like, I don't see Kanye, before we started, we talked about Kanye and I was like, I really didn't even form an opinion yet. Yeah. Like, I wasn't listening to that shit to be like, he's wrong about that. And wait for him to say, he's wrong.
Right. Neither was I.
I agree. Or I don't agree. Like, I'm saying, I really just, I heard him out and I was like,
That sucked.
No, yeah, that, and I was like, what do I disagree with? What do I agree with? So much just came at me that I was just like, and I see, like, and that, I think that's what it was, that the fucking internet is like, hate Kanye, and my brain is like, all right, what is he trying to say? And then, a week later, where do we get?
Right. I mean, I think that there's some validity to what he's saying. I think that it doesn't affect him. So, the guy who works at TMZ, like, challenged Kanye. They got into a fight at not a fight.
I didn't actually watch that.
An argument.
That was good. He put him in his place, man.
And he said that, like, for you don't have to live.
Was it Van?
Yeah, Van.
Yeah,
I did.
Okay,
yeah.
And he was saying, like, you don't have to experience the same kind of social imprisonment that I do. And so that is kind of, Kanye wants to come out and say these things. And I do think the overall message is positive. And I do think that if you kind of get through all the bullshit to understand where he's coming from, I think that it's a good message. But it is true that Kanye can pop out and have these opinions publicly and say whatever he wants to say when he has something coming out. But then he's silenced. Like, he doesn't have to deal with the same racism and the same oppression that a regular middle-class black man has to deal with on a daily basis. His environment is extremely controlled. And he works in hip-hop and in fashion where... I mean, in fashion, there's obviously a racism and there's, like, levels to that shit. But in hip-hop, you're not really accepted if you're white. So for him, his world and his surroundings, like, you're a visionary, you're an art, you're a creative.
I'll give him that. He is an artist, a true artist.
I agree. I think those things are all true. But at the end of the day, if he was put in the situation of a person that didn't have celebrity or money, even just celebrity. Let's not even just say money, because I know black people with money who...
Kanye West forgot he's black?
It's still not even. No, I think he forgot what it is to be a regular black man in America and have to deal with the fact that if I go for a job... Well, I'm a woman, so it's different. We get paid 20% less on average. But if a white man and a black man are to have the same job... The black man is not, and this is a statistical fact from our New York Times article, is not going to make the same money. Or, white people are received in a lot of situations that allow them to move fluidly through society. And black men are not received that way because of this stigma of dangerous black man.
Yeah. Well, that's always been America,
is something, though. Right. And this is, again, something that started from slavery.
Yeah.
Where, hide your wives, hide your kids, don't let the black slaves near your family. And they're dangerous, and they're bad, and they're stupid, and they're lazy, and all of these things that this culture has built on for so many years.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it's a conversation we need to have.
I saw Issa Rae.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, I actually just pulled it up. And I don't think this is the whole quote, but she was talking about, in her book, like, advice for black women.
Yes, with the Asian men.
Right. She said, educated black men, what better intellectual match for you than an Asian man? I'm not talking about Filipinos. They're the blacks.
Educated black women.
What
better? You said man.
Did I say man?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Educated black women. And then she said, not Filipinos. They're the blacks of Asians. I'm talking about Chinese, Vietnamese, Japanese, etc. And I'm like, I said, and I was just like, damn, like, even Issa, like, what the fuck? I was really like, I just pulled it up to get that, but.
Yeah, but so in context to her saying that, a lot of people and herself, they have spoken on that, saying that her style and who she is kind of is like sarcastic and like a satire, and it's like she's saying like oh yeah, like you should just go date Asian men because we don't have this opportunity. I mean, not for nothing, how many successful black men have said and have shown that, and when he get on, he leave your ass for a white girl.
But I mean, how many black men are with the same black woman for 30 years? I think it's probably...
No, I mean, I think it happens, but I think that publicly. So I'm not talking about in real life. That's what I'm saying about the problem with idolizing celebrity, following what they do, thinking that they are the guides and the moral compasses of our lives.
But right, and I think we're saying the same thing in two different ways, but I think it's that these, like those comments like this, I get that, like, why do we care? But it's the little shit like this that fucking skyrockets, and not everyone's gonna want to hear the you know, like this comes out in the book and we talk about it, whatever, but nobody wants to hear the real. Like no one's like
right,
after.
And that's the problem. Like, Bo, you and I always speak very candidly about everything.
True.
We say whatever it is, and if it's honest and it's real, then it's honest and it's real. And I mean, I don't feel like you ever judge me, and I don't ever judge you because if it's the truth, it's the truth. The only way that you can change what is to recognize what is. And so it's the same. Why would he have a conversation with Donald Trump? Because like, why do you feel that way? Like, I would want to have that conversation too. Or I would be interested to know, like, I would be interested to have a healthy debate between myself and a KKK member and want to know. And now I don't like their views. I don't like them as I don't like their ideas or whatever, right? But how can you change anyone's thinking without having transparent, open dialogue? You can't. There will be some people you can't change. But sure. Generationally, if we keep this open conversation in a positive way, not an argumentative way, not like I'm going to kill you or you're going to kill me, but we continue this, there will be a better place. I don't think that anything can fix it right now. There are still people living right now who went through segregation.
My grandmother in her lifetime saw
right.
like whites only, like don't use that water fountain in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? In her lifetime, like had dogs sicked on her. So at this point, I want to say like, yeah, hopefully it gets better. But at the same time, like just like my grandmother experienced that, and she tells me those stories. Some other, maybe a guy in Alabama who sent the dog is still telling his grandson to be like, nah, fuck that. If you see a black man or if you see a nigga coming on this porch, you sit, you know what I'm saying? So, and he could be listening, like, I'm listening like, damn, grandma, that's crazy. His grandson could be listening like, you know what, pop, you're fucking right. So I feel like that's why I'm at a weird point, like, where, like, damn, you know, where's it gonna change?
But if you speak to people when and people get an idea of like, I don't have to be oppressed. I feel like KKK members are oppressed in their thinking too. When it's a generational thing, I feel like they're oppressed because that's all they know.
I met a former white supremacist at NASA, Frank Mink was his name. And he told this whole story, and he grew up in Philly, and he was saying that he became a neo-Nazi, I guess that's the term. Yeah. He when he went to jail, and when he went to jail, it was like he had to make a choice, and obviously he's not going with the black dudes because they didn't want to be with him. He can't go with the Mexicans. They wasn't trying to hear it. He went with the white dudes, and he said like when he first went in, and he was looking for that direction. They preached to him like we're like the pressure is on in here, you know what I'm saying? It's everybody against us. Nobody cares about us, you know. And he said like they made him feel oppressed. Yeah. He'd walk and he'd see black dudes and he's like, look at these motherfuckers, like really on some like taking our jobs and I'm just listening to him like, who fucking knew? You know, I was really looking at him like, go figure. And then he said he was playing. What changed it? He used to have a spades partner that was black, and even though they didn't see it, but they were just good at spades. So that was the only thing they did together. Other than that, even the people knew around them, they knew they don't really fuck with each other. And one day, some shit happened between him and the black dude, the Spades partner. Someone said something about him, like, oh, the guy was, I don't know, he took your fucking ramen soup, whatever the fuck happens in jail. And he was like, just like a nigga. And then he turned around and the dude was there, and he said that shit broke his heart. And the dude was like, damn, I didn't even do nothing to you. Like, they were just talking about him, and he just heard it, talking to his the neo-Nazi friends, and he was like, and he was trying to fit in. He said the bullshit, and he turned, and the dude was there like, word, like, I know we just play spades, but like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? And he said that shit changed him, and when he got out of jail, he was like, yo, I'm leaving that shit behind me. Yeah. But he lived his life until like 30 something, like, and I actually asked him, I'm like, do you feel like you really just switched? Like, did you feel like it just happened? And he was like, not really. But he said it was a choice to be like, all right, I'm going to be more open to the things around me. I'm going to be, because I was like, all right, motherfucker, you didn't just decide, like, all right, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, it was a transition. And then he said, like, after a couple of years when he was telling it to people he was in jail with, like, nah, I'm not with the movement anymore. I'm not being down. He was like, they treated me worse than they treated any black people that he's seen. And I was like, wow. And he was like, it showed him, like, that's crazy. That's the game. And for me personally, some crazy shit. I was dating this girl. She's white. And, I mean, I have to say it because it's going to, I used to see her grandfather every fucking day. Every day.
Oh, you told me this.
Did I tell you?
You told me.
I told you this too? That shit was crazy. Were we on the podcast?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Well, quick for those who don't know, it's not even I wasn't going to tell the story, but I guess since we're here. I wish I told it already so I wouldn't have to tell it twice. I used to see a motherfucker every day. We played golf. We talked about golf. We talked about the Mets. We talked about whatever. I thought it was cool. 3 years went by. To make a long story short, I'm in the house one day. He don't see me. He's on the phone. He's like, yeah, she got a black boyfriend, which I'm not cool with. I'm like, damn, my G, like, I thought we was good, And that moment, it did switch the thing with me to be like, damn, like, no matter what people say to you, you really never know what happens behind closed doors. Like, you think a motherfucker's cool with you, and little do you know, like, that's how he really feels. And it's kind of, this shit is, that's why I feel like, I don't think it's going to change. You know what I'm saying? And he was probably at the time like 85.
Yeah.
And I was probably about 25, 24.
Yeah.
And I was really like, damn, like, we spent the last 3 years. I thought we had something, but little did I know, and the whole time in your back pocket, I was just still some black dude that was fucking your granddaughter. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So, with all that being said, even with the former white supremacists, just when you think, like, what, it's like, I don't want to say, like, drug addicts, but, like, it could be some shit that happens tomorrow that could set them off. Like, you know what, fuck that. They were right. Like, you really, like, what's the balance? Where does it end? You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think that it's something that we can find a simple solution. It's rooted hundreds of years in this country. I don't think that it's something that will find a simple solution. But I do think that it's in, like, our generation's power and to move forward in a way. I don't mean move forward to forget about those things, but the truth of the matter is there will be no retribution for African American people. They're not going to start writing checks. They're not going to start...
Fuck that. Send one here.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think that we have to get and really, if they did that, I wouldn't be opposed, Like, I don't think that money, though, even can take away those years of that of that situation.
Baggy Rolexes around.
So, I just don't. I think that it's that nothing will reconcile that slavery happened. Nothing is gonna make that better. Like, nothing's gonna say, like, okay, let's erase it. It's just like for Jewish people and the Germans and Nazis, like, nothing is going to make the Holocaust unhappen. I mean, there are, white supremacists that say that the Holocaust
better
never
fucking
happened.
not. I don't know where you're going with this.
But, we can't... I know, like, he was about to say something real crazy.
He was about to jump off the
No, it wasn't too crazy. But
But
he did kind of get Israel to make up for it a little bit.
What do you mean?
After the Holocaust, the whole world felt bad for the Jews. They said,
No.
you don't have your own homeland. All right, we'll take the we'll give you
That
Palestine.
was the homeland of the Jewish people.
Yeah, for thousands of years before the Arabs took it over for another 1,000 years, and now the Jews wanted it back.
No,
so
that's
we helped
not
them get
how
it
it
back.
happened.
Yes, it
They
was.
were
The Jews were
still
wandering Jews all over Europe until we gave them back their land. We fought for their land to give it back to them. That's why we have the whole Middle East crisis now, because we took mad land from these Arabs that they thought was theirs, which really wasn't. That is Jewish land. That's uncontested. But
Okay, so I'm glad you said that.
I don't
didn't know
say
that.
So Jews were never out of Israel.
no, there were Jews there, but a lot of them
Right.
were wandering Jews.
So it's not.
Most
Yes,
of them were
a
wandering.
lot of Jewish people
They had no home officially.
did.
Officially.
No, that's not. There's Jewish people settled in all parts of Europe. It's a religion,
Yeah.
so
And
it's
Middle
not
East,
like I mean, you can't like keep a group of people in a herd. Like it's not. They were wandering. So
That's what they're
there's
called.
Latin people all over the world. Are they wanderers?
No, that was because the conquistadors came from Spain and fucking took over South America and parts of the south of the United States
Right, and
and spread them
the
to the
Arabs
Taínos Indians.
moved into Israel.
Yes.
People did leave to go settle in other parts of Europe.
Yes.
But they didn't
they
get
lost their
rid
home.
of. They didn't get rid of.
Well, I didn't say that to say this, all right? I didn't mean to get into this whole
They
debate
did not
about
get rid of all of the Jews.
the majority of them. They did.
You can't say that.
The Arabs would have never tolerated them in their homeland.
Right, but I mean, look, still, how many hundreds of years later are they still fighting with the Palestinians to have Israel be in the Israel state? It's like Israel Palestine. It's
Yeah.
like all messy, and it was a huge thing for Donald Trump today, not today literally, but like now, to even recognize Jerusalem.
Oh, because he wants to put the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem.
Right.
Because the Arabs want it. They think that's their third holiest site in the religion.
But Jerusalem is holy for every fucking religion.
Yeah. And if it went to the Arabs, they wouldn't let any other religion come in and visit. And
I mean, we can't
pray
say what
and
they
all
would
that.
or wouldn't
I
do.
know
What
what
the
they would
truth of the
fucking
matter is that the earth essentially in real life doesn't belong to anyone.
yes, it does.
Yeah,
This world belongs to America.
Yeah, we passed that point of
Yeah, fuck
because
that.
I would love to agree with you and say you're right.
The
Samara.
world once belonged to Rome.
nah,
the
we
world
go-
once
No,
belonged
I
to Greece.
understand that it
goes
goes
through its
to
phases.
like through its phases, but that's the point. Like if you can take something from me, I don't really have it.
No, that's even buying a house. Stop paying your taxes and see what happened to that motherfucker.
Right, it's
The
not
game
yours.
is like
You're just renting.
it's everything.
At all times, you're just borrowing something.
Yeah.
No, that's a fact.
That's why I would hate to pay rent. I'd rather pay a mortgage than pay rent.
It's the same game. I mean, not, you know.
At least mortgage, you eventually own it.
No, you don't own
that's
it
what- no,
because
you
stop
don't.
paying your
Stop paying your
taxes.
taxes.
Stop
I don't like
paying
that.
for
Yeah,
your
fuck that.
lands. They will take it from you. You don't really own anything.
That's why you gotta buy a lot of land and then have a group of guys with rifles and set up position points and like what those fucking white people did in
drone
on the
strike
west side.
your ass.
No, they
I
fought.
mean-
They fought them and they won.
No.
They even won in court. Those motherfuckers.
No, I understand. I mean, there's things that happen, but in real life, like, you can't say whether or not people can settle here. This is America. They wanted it to be white people and Europeans, right?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, there's everybody here.
I mean,
Eventually, that changed.
the Native American people.
Bayside used to be white people and Italian people, Jews. Now,
It's all Korean.
it's all Asian. Was that their territory? Like,
Look, I just hate to see I grew up in Bayside, so I've seen it when it was like it felt like America to see it turn into
Felt
fucking.
like America. You were
Now it looks like Hong
Give
Kong
it
when
to
I
me.
walk around, drive around. Every store they take over, Korean letters. At least put the shit in English, you know.
You know, and well, I'm not jumping on board, but I'm just. I actually did notice that like 2 weeks ago. I was like, damn, I forget. I was that little strip by what the fuck is that? Like Polo Deli. That's not even
Yeah.
in. But I just happened to notice that I made that left that you're not supposed to make, and I was like, wow, I never noticed that all these fucking signs were in
Asian.
Asian. I guess that's
Asian
if you can say that.
hieroglyphs.
But I was just
an
like,
Asian language.
yeah, right.
But whatever.
podcast facts, but like I don't want to say it was Korean or
Yeah, no, I
Chinese
know.
or you know what I'm saying. So, But I really know. I'm like, I don't even know what store it is. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't make a big deal. I wasn't
And
like,
you
this
should
is in
feel that
America. I wasn't like that.
I feel that way. I feel like I'm losing my country, man. Little by little, I see this shit, and they're not
Yeah,
even
but you
bothering
know
to
what?
speak English.
Americans, when people were settling in, when a lot of Latin people came to New York, and when I go to my friends in Jackson Heights, nobody speaks English.
Yeah, I don't like that. It should be regulated.
They are speaking only Spanish. You can't go into this. My friend was in Jackson Heights yesterday on the phone with me in the supermarket, and they only spoke Spanish.
You think there's towns in Mexico where they just have a bunch of Americans running around speaking English all day?
No.
But I think, and if I'm cross here, just please stop me. But I kind of fuck with it a little bit. Like because if you go to Stop and Shop, it's just good old Stop and Shop.
Ain't that America?
But if you got your small corner bodega that you go in and you feel really comfortable that I just speak Spanish. What the fuck I want to order, I'm gonna order it in Spanish. I respect that.
Oh, no, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying that while I don't agree at all with the perspective of Asian people came into our lands and now they're taking over, or, all of these things of people taking over and all of these things, I don't agree with it at all.
Wow.
But
I'm
generationally, not even generationally, but, over courses of time, this has happened to everyone, every different type of person. And it's happening in different places. This is America, where they did decide to open Ellis Island and allow all types of people to come in.
And I love
they
that about
still
America.
allow people
But
to come
still,
in.
These people aren't assimilated.
You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. I mean, Bo would probably still be here.
Oh no, I'm from this motherfucking land.
But you and I wouldn't be here.
The real Americans in America, to me, are white people and black people. Everybody else is just a guest.
Native Americans.
Well, them too, but everybody else is just a guest.
I don't think that's
that's
true. I
also
think
very
over time it's gonna be, like when our parents or grandparents came here, or great grandparents, whoever, whenever anyone came here, there was a lot of influxes of people from Europe, not Asia, but Europe. And so there was Italian neighborhoods, right? But it took time. I have friends. Wait, that's not for everyone. Because I have friends who their grandparents were, their parents were first generation American. Their grandparents came over here, and the grandparents, they never have spoken a word of freaking English.
That's what I was gonna say. It's an Italian dude on my block that drives a Fiat. And he speaks English, but that shit it's not that, he doesn't speak it that well. Like, I can tell, he's like, if I had to put an age on him, he's over 65, and I can tell.
Learned.
But when all those people came over, nobody was speaking the same language.
Shit.
That's why they ghettoized and stayed in the same place with the same people. That's why there was Italian neighborhoods, there was Jewish neighborhoods, there was Irish neighborhoods, there was Romanian neighborhoods. That's why, because they wanted to be amongst their own people. But eventually, through time, when there's a next generation and a next generation, it spreads out. So these people who are coming here now, they're like first going to get assimilated, and then eventually they'll have first generation Americans and second generation of Americans. Like,
I think those generations you're talking about are completely different, man. The Europeans that came here, I mean, they basically don't have a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of still to this day. The Koreans come here.
That's not true.
They don't learn English. But they have a business. They got a house in a suburb neighborhood. They got a fucking Lexus SUV and a drop top BMW. Don't speak a word of English. They own 5 businesses in America. Everything's in Asian letters. You speak to them, they don't even speak English. How the fuck is this possible? I'm sorry. How the fuck is this possible in this country when a guy who's born here can't even get a loan to get a fucking his own business and shit? But the immigrant comes here, don't even speak English, gets everything. They don't even have to assimilate. They don't celebrate 4th of July. They don't fly the American flag outside their home. They don't do shit.
You know, I wondered that, but then I'm like, I can't say. I don't know what these people do during their off time. You know
There's
what I'm
something
saying?
going on fishy with those Korean churches, man. They all go to that Korean church.
You know what?
Something fishy going on there.
You got some
Sound
issues.
ignorant.
I'm
Yeah, I was
sorry.
gonna say you sound crazy.
I'm sorry.
but you know, how do you know when they go to
don't
these
be sorry
churches?
to me. But
No, but how do you know when they don't go to these churches? They're like, yo, listen, this is what we're gonna
It's
do.
a
We're gonna
scheme.
pool our money together. It doesn't have to be a scheme. It could just be like, yo, it's 30 of us. Everybody put up 1,500. Like, we're gonna open up a storefront, and we'll just keep not a pyramid scheme. 'Cause I don't want to use that word scheme, but like a system they could have. Like, all right, we're gonna get you yours. We're gonna get you yours. We're gonna
Make
get
it
you
sound
yours.
so innocent.
so it is true, though. That,
I mean, because I don't, you know,
like certain groups of Asians have people that
you
they
make it sound so
lend.
innocent. You make it sound so guilty, but go
That
ahead.
they lend money under
Low
the
interest
table
rate.
at a lower interest rate
Less than
to
1%.
help them to become successful.
Yeah.
The problem is A, it's illegal, and B, it's everyone else is not doing that. So everyone else who's been here for a long, long time is like, what's mine is mine.
Yeah.
And why should I help you? And they have those ways from their culture.
Sure.
And I mean, you know, I don't want to jump out the window to say like, oh, if you don't pay, they'll kill you. But I mean, that's kind of the agreement.
Yeah.
And then they do it. You know, there's like, I used to work with someone who was Chinese, and he explained to me that all of those corner store like Chinese hood spots, they all like all the menus, everything looks the same. All the pictures of the meals and whatever, everything looks the same because all of the people who came here and did those are all from one place in China. And they help each other when they come here. Like, oh, first they work at the Chinese spot to learn everything. Then they help each other to get another Chinese spot. And then next thing you know, they own the goddamn block.
But that's why I'm not really mad at it, because, you know,
But it's not something that we should be angry about. This is just,
that's
it's assimilation.
That's the point of the
I don't
the
think
American
that's assimilation when the letter. If you're gonna put it New Hong Kong in English letters, I want to say the English right. Don't put it Ching Chong Chong Chong.
How you gonna say
Oh
put
my
New
God.
Hong Kong in English letters? Like, for who? For
Just
you?
yeah,
You're not going in there.
You're in my fucking country. If I
You're
go to-
not going in there.
If I take a trip to Hong Kong and everything's in Ching Chong letters, I'm not gonna say, hey, what the fuck? I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm in Hong Kong. If I'm in America and I'm gonna go shop at your fucking place, you want me to buy food from you? I want to be able to read what's on the goddamn motherfucking menu. Especially when you go to Jackson Heights and you go to these nice Spanish restaurants and it's not even English, and you gotta get the girl you're on a date with, like, yo, tell this motherfucker I want a chicken with rice,
But-
and some motherfucking beans.
See, even
Yeah.
the Spanish spot. When I go into the Spanish spot, I can't be like, what is polo? What is
Put it in
this?
English.
No, it's pollo and it's chicken. Either
Don't
or
assume that I
don't
know
come
that.
here then.
Don't assume that I know that. And the waitress need to tell me what the fuck is on the fucking menu. If the waitress can't even tell me, who the fuck is gonna tell me?
Listen,
And I'm half Spanish, so don't all y'all out there.
No, I mean,
My one followed.
but see, this is the shit. This is the
Ew.
thing. I've heard black men say this to me my entire life, from when I was
What they say?
when I can remember. Like, fucking Japanese come into the country, the government just give them whatever to open up a business.
Yeah.
Motherfucking white man go down to the bank. And in this time, I like graduated high school, started college, stopped, started college again, stopped, got a job, stopped, got another job, started my own business. Now I'm 30 years old, and those same motherfuckers that this past weekend were just like, motherfuckers coming to this country, and I'm like, wow. I was like, that's crazy. And all that energy, and all from, I'm not even kidding, I can remember. I'm like, damn, you know, I started my own business, and I'm not, if it fucking all came to shit tomorrow, I'd be good with it because I tried. So
Yeah.
the point was that he was just like, these motherfuckers, like, go out and just do you.
Yeah.
So, but see, that's what Kanye is saying with allowing yourself to be oppressed by what someone else tells you.
Right.
So for you are a person like myself who believes really
the limit.
anything is
Yeah,
possible.
that's a fucking
and
fact.
if you want to do something, there's a way to do it.
Everything.
Once I
Everything.
saw Obama become president, I was like, yo, and Donald Trump too.
Let me tell you,
I was like,
Obama
wow.
But it's not
changed my
even
life.
that, but
Obama was like, I was like, oh shit, it's
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But
That was
it's
10 years
like
ago at this point.
for people to allow that to be told to them and then believe it.
Right.
That's what's in your way. My father and I are very different people. I tell my dad, like, I have an idea. Any idea except for go to school, get a degree, and work your ass off is a stupid idea, and it's impossible.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, you know what I want to do? I want to buy a house, fix it up, and flip it. Impossible. It's a very bad idea. It's very dangerous.
That's good.
You're going to lose all your money.
I should have been doing that.
Right, but for him, he never invested in real estate. So for him, he says, bad idea. You just work and invest your money.
Sounds like my grandparents. They don't even want me to invest. They didn't want me to go to college, nothing.
When I said I want to open my own business, that's ridiculous. You know that stores are just closing left and right.
It's a hit and miss,
You can't do it. For me, though, I was raised, fortunately, like in my life, I've had a lot of mentors that have been extremely successful that instilled in me from a young age that everything is possible. And I have had those experiences. Like I wanted a mini horse, and it was at the circus in Nassau Coliseum when they used to have the like a fair, and they had animals, and I wanted this baby mini horse. Literally the next day, somebody got it for me.
Jeez.
And I never thought that was possible. They're not really that crazy expensive. They're not like $40,000, $30,000, $20,000, you know, like, but at that point, I felt like you can do whatever you want to do. Like before I had my first deal, I was like, my parents would say, like, and they still do, you have to order what's on the menu.
Yeah, don't be one of the motherfuckers like, can this chef make this and that?
But then I'm like, no, you don't.
Nah,
you can just
fuck that.
ask.
I'm gonna tell you,
no, fuck that.
My mom like reverse engineered my brain crazy without even realizing. Like, shit was just always fucked up. So I always just was like, all right, I'm not set up. If you tell me, Bo, you gotta go left or go right, I'm like, but what's behind the wall straight ahead, though?
Right.
And that's just my brain. I can't help it. I swear to, it's fucked up. But I'm very happy with who I am. 10 years ago, this shit, my brain, I would almost put a ceiling on myself because of that. Like, well, fuck, you know, they say one person says go around, and I'm like, I really want to go straight, but whatever. Like, at a certain point, that shit's already like, fuck it, I'm not trying to hit it. Now when I go to a restaurant, nah, I don't want to take this shit off and add this, or you can't do that. Linz, get your shit, let's go then, because this ain't the place for me.
I hate that shit.
No, but that's the thing. Like, so if you know they have the ingredients to make what you want, right?
They do all this extra shit.
Take off the onions.
Yeah.
You can eat these.
That's why I don't work in the food industry no more.
No, but I mean, my parents would say, you can't do that. Or like they would never, like, you just order your meal and that's it. Appetizers, dessert. God forbid we ordered a second drink when it wasn't free refills. It was like, do you really need that? But then it's like, but then I got older. I started making my own money, and I was around other people who allowed me to just be and encouraged me to develop as myself, that I was like, it's $2, fam.
No,
like, I'll give you the $2.
$2 extra I didn't have to spend, motherfucker. Drink some water. Don't be drinking no extra drink.
Okay.
That's how I was raised. I was always
right, but that's
how
I was always raised. But for me, I'm like, that's crazy. Like,
I didn't have no open doors for me. If somebody told me to go left or right, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go left. Shit.
Yeah, but
I ain't going straight.
So yeah, but see, that's allowing yourself though. And look how you complain about that you don't make enough money.
Yeah.
You have fucked up credit.
I'm living the shit life.
You're living the shit life.
My credit's not fucked up. I brought up my credit score.
You can't get any pussy.
Yeah, I love to eat it though. But
Bo and I are two examples of free thinkers.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't allow people to oppress us, and we doing better than you.
I just got into a motherfucker.
I'm
not doing better than you.
Yes, you are.
I'm a struggling podcaster. I just got into it with a motherfucker today. He came up to the shop, and I was like, hold on, fam.
Came up to the shop.
Put your gun
in
in
back the garage. He came up. I said, hold on, fam. I'm not feeling your energy. And I stopped right where the fuck you stand.
You don't talk to customers like that.
Who?
You. Now go on.
Says who?
Says the motherfucking etiquette of doing business.
No, I know this human being.
Oh, okay.
I said, ho. Because I know when he come around, like, oh, you got that one? You should have got the bigger vacuum. That type of shit.
Oh, okay.
I ain't trying to hear
constructive criticism.
No, from a
It's
motherfucker
not
doing it.
constructive.
If he was doing it and he was trying to help and trying to be constructive, it'd be one thing. But as far as like just coming around like, nah, I wouldn't have did it that way.
Somebody
That's
less
not your life.
successful
So
than
it's
me
the
cannot
same-
tell me anything. We can't have a conversation
When I told
if
you
you
about
less
that camera, you got
successful
mad?
than me.
Like
No.
what? My camera's not good enough, motherfucker? Yeah, I gotta get a new camera.
If I had the receipt around this motherfucker,
Oh, you
I'd
bought
show you
it?
that I bought it.
Oh, wow.
Because that was constructive. You were like, but that you wasn't. You didn't
But you
just come in
didn't
and
say
say
it nasty.
You didn't come in and say, yo, I ain't like that camera, fam. You
Yeah.
should have got the 360 shit. You didn't say that. You came in and said, yo, there's the 360 shit. That would be crazy. I don't know. Here, just take a look at it.
Yeah.
That's two totally
That's
separate.
a suggestion
That's two
rather
totally
than a
separate
critique.
things. If you came in on some bullshit, like I'm not feeling your iPad, fam. Was it the iPad 2 ain't there, 3 out now? I'd say fuck off. Yeah. You use your own iPad then. You know what I'm saying? That's just. But it's just the way it is, and because of that, like I don't like that shit.
Right, like you have to control who is allowed to influence you in your life. And so, like, I have a lot of friends who are not living up to their capacity.
Yeah,
And like you and I had this conversation when I said to you, like, oh, you could do this, this, and this. But you're not thinking outside the box because you're taught to think this way. My parents tried to teach me to think that way too. And I just said, I got a record deal. I'm 14. I could do anything. I've signed multiple times. And most people don't even get the opportunity to sign one time. You can't ever tell me in life of these 31 years that I have in life, but really I'm 25.
I was just thinking
that something is impossible because I've done things just by being me and by living my life.
It's not
I've had
possible for everybody,
opportunities and done things that
Everybody
are
gets
one in a million things and
What
done them
opportunities?
multiple times.
I think that's the thing. You can't say not everybody gets those opportunities. It's like, what? Do you want to be signed to a record label as a singer? Probably.
I'm saying any opportunity. Like if
When
I
I
wanted
first
to,
got signed, I wasn't trying to be a singer.
No,
bullshit.
I'm just saying like, what your opportunities? You probably don't even want those opportunities. You probably don't want mine.
But
You damn
I'm
sure
not
don't
getting no
want my
fucking opportunities at all. I gotta be outside to get some fucking opportunities.
to be honest, that's on you again.
That's what I was gonna say.
So you're
It's not on
if
me.
you
Y'all know people, and people know people, and people help like each other out and shit. Like, yo, I got this chick that knows a chick that can help you out with this.
You
and do
know,
this for you.
I think that's the thing. Where it's
so
like,
wait,
It's about who you
hold
know.
up, because did I not have a conversation with you about what you can do to get yourself further in your career?
I think I was here for that.
Yep. Did Carlton and
I spent like 15 minutes editing that out of the podcast, like because it was that weird intermission
like,
window where I was like,
yeah.
all right, that seems like a little personal.
But did Bo and I
That's fine.
not stand here like a paparazzi taking pictures of you to create a Tinder
forgot about
account
the love up.
to get you some
Looking for
pussy,
love up,
and then
The
did
pictures
you
didn't
do
co-
it?
But no, because the pictures didn't come out good. The pictures look like shit. I gotta lose weight to get pictures.
You're
for
being
But
hard on
you're
yourself.
in your own way.
Right.
Because if you don't go for something,
Yeah.
you will not get it. Closed mouths don't get fed on any boulevard. If you do not ask
Yeah,
for
but those
something,
pictures ain't
you will
working
not
for me.
receive it. So you know what? Stand in the mirror and take a bunch of selfies till your
gotta do-
heart's
fat people
content.
gotta do-
Okay?
Yeah,
Look
you-
up.
Let me
Double-
tell you
double-
something. You are the weight you are. You are the size you are.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's
Well,
not-
you
it's
know
not a
what?
good size for me.
How often do you go to the gym?
I haven't been to the gym in 10 years.
Right. So what do you do to change your reality? It's all within
It's
your
hard,
hands.
man. It's not that easy, man.
How you can't tell me that. I lost over 100 pounds. You can't tell
I've
me
done
that.
it before too, and it's hard.
Okay. So why don't you go to a bariatric surgeon
Oh
and
shit! Who's
see
got
if
money
you
for
can
that?
Kanye.
No, I'm not talking about a plastic surgeon. You can go get
Some bullshit in a
I
hotel
don't think I
that
ever
I
heard
got
of a
killed.
bariatric surgeon.
a bariatric surgeon does things like gastric bypass, a gastric sleeve,
I
a
don't even
lap
think I'm healthy enough
band.
for that. I'll probably die in the fucking hotel
Jesus
room.
fucking
Right.
the
So
bed while they
here's
do
the
it.
thing.
For the $500.
I'm
gift
trying
card.
to tell you how you can become more successful in the things that bother you. And every single thing I say, you have a rebuttal instead of saying,
I always have an excuse because that's my life. It's shit, all right?
right, your life is shit because it's full of excuses.
Listen, man, what do you want me to do?
Let me tell you something. If I don't make the money that I want to make,
Yeah.
I don't get the shit I want. I won't have the life I want. I'm not here. Nobody, no Captain Save-A-Ho is coming around to save me and take care of me and pay all my bills.
Because you're not
It's
looking.
not going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
That's why I gotta slow you down because I'm rolling with everything you say.
So it happens to some women, yes, but I'm saying that
But
I
women-
am in control of my own life.
Right. That's why I didn't want to cut you off and stray away from the point. But women, I do feel like have it like a little different. There's always going to be a man that wants to take care of a woman.
Yes.
Always.
I mean, I don't know about
But-
that,
but
because I
I-
haven't really found any.
But you're better
So I
off
can't
instead
say.
of because you're not, and that's why I just wanted to interject a little bit because you're right. There's a lot of women that are sitting around waiting for the guy to come save them instead of
And
going
a
out
lot
and
of
just
the
get what
girls
they
that
wanna
I
get.
know that do that, they might get a little bit of coins.
No,
Occasionally.
bitches love rich people, rich
Yeah.
men that don't give them shit.
Right,
Like, that's why the game is
but
so
what I'm
weird.
saying is though right, but what I'm saying is they might get a little bit of coins in the idea that they get to live in that house.
Right.
They get to be in that space. They get to drive a nice car. But they get cheated on, they get lied
They
to.
give a fuck. They got a roof over their
They
head.
get
They got
beat
diamonds
up.
on them. Diamonds all over their body. They're fucking driving around fucking Mercedes and fucking having a good old time living in the nice suburbs. They go to the pool.
Well, so
don't wanna be a
there's a
housewife,
trade-off, right?
I want to be a
For-
housewife. I want a sugar
a lot
mama.
of times for
I want
you
a
to
sugar mama.
financially depend on another person, there's a trade-off. Because now you have power.
Yeah.
So for me, that's not an option. For me,
Stop with the independence.
I
man.
have to be able, I fully agree that for a woman and a man to be together, a woman has to submit to that man.
Yes.
I'm not a feminist, like, equality and everyone should do the same thing. And I do think there should be equality, but I think that there are just certain natural things
I'm about to say that, yeah.
for
Goes
a
against
man
nature.
and a woman.
Y'all trying to take the masculinity out of men. Masculinity.
I don't
out
think
of
that,
men.
I don't really think that that's the goal, to be honest.
It is.
I think that you're salty because you are not motivated enough in your life to compete or provide for anyone.
Yes, that's true.
But you don't do anything about it.
What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go?
Go to the fucking gym and work out if you don't like how
That's
you look.
number one. Yeah.
You can go.
So that's gonna get me some pussy. Where's pussy gonna get me? Because pussy ain't got me nowhere except fucking trouble.
So then
no
stop
pussy.
crying about that you don't get any and that you don't
No,
touch
I
anyone.
want it.
Oh my
But
god.
there's got to be something more than that. Like, I need something more. I need somewhere to go. Somebody show me, look, go there. They're gonna have $250,000 for you. Go pick it up.
Yeah,
and
see,
you
that's
good
not gonna
money.
happen.
Yeah, no.
You have to
I'm just
work.
saying. Yeah. Okay. Show me how to earn it. Show me how to fucking earn that money.
I didn't tell
Please,
you.
without a college degree.
I didn't tell you.
What?
I didn't tell you
Invest
that you
in a
can
prison.
go
Invest in a
get.
prison?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you that you can
Buy
go.
stock on that.
How much do you use your credit? If you wanted to start your own business, you could get a small business loan. You do have
Definitely
to.
could get a small business loan.
I could, but what am I gonna do?
Right,
You
that's
gotta
the
figure
problem.
that out.
You don't want to use your brain, or you don't want to do any work. You want everything to come to you. And guess what? In this world, nobody gives it to you. Nobody gave it to me.
That's not true.
Some people have it
People
given to
get it.
them. Yes, but guess what? We weren't born in those situations.
Would you start a GoFundMe?
I thought about that. Like, look, I'm a fucking fat, broke, fucking bold, pasty loser. All right. I hardly ever go outside. I got like 2 friends. I got a kid that lives out of state. All right. I have no prospects.
Okay,
for
New
China.
Jersey is not.
It doesn't
that
matter. You
far.
fled the state,
Like you
bitch.
really tried it with that one.
It doesn't matter. He's not in the same state. All right. It bothers me. All right. You have a kid and then have your kid fucking taken away from you. and moved to
That's
another
why
I
state.
mean, I can't say I don't have any
Alright.
children. I'm just saying that it's not the most dramatic. If you make every problem that's like this, you're never
I
going
figure out what
to
my point
move
was.
forward.
Fuck.
To invest in a prison.
To invest,
Oh, yeah.
no, to do a GoFundMe because you
Yeah.
have all of these
Can I do that? Or it
problems
has to be-
associated with
And I
your
got health
laziness
problems,
and
too.
your
Someone would probably
lack
give you
of
like $30
motivation.
if you're like, yo, I
Yeah.
just don't want to do it. Can you guys give me money? You probably raise like $30 and then you'd move on.
God damn
It'd
it.
be like, see, nobody cares. But anyway,
If somebody just donated $1 a day, if I can get 100 people to donate $1 a
no,
day.
go out and figure out how to make a fucking. You can go out and beg for $1 a day on Manhattan Street and probably get.
Them
20.
motherfuckers make more money than me, I heard.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like that's exactly my point.
Yeah, but you
Anyway,
won't do it.
Moving on. Speaking
One
of
day I will. To be honest, one day I am going to be homeless. It sucks, but we'll talk about that another time.
you're really
Well,
crazy.
you know
That's
what?
you're
What
not.
do you do to prevent it?
There's nothing to do. I'm already 32 years old. College is out of the picture. Even with the college degree, you're not guaranteed a fucking good paying job.
You know, like I just want you just to be very clear that people are gonna listen to this. Like, what is he talking about? Like,
I think
there'll be a
that
40-year-old
for me-
man.
Fucking
I think for
opportunities
Bo and
galore.
I,
Yeah, right,
I think
exactly.
I can understand that type of mental imprisonment.
Yeah.
Because
It's a prison.
for me, like
Every
nobody
day.
can ever tell me that I can't do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, I never.
So
I can never do
sometimes
anything
there's
I
an
wanted to do.
issue with like figuring out your place in life and the direction you want to go in. And so that's like a whole other issue. But like I know the whole world is here for me. And I can do whatever I want to do. I might not get paid as much as a man because that's just what happens.
I feel like
But-
they don't give a fuck about
Why
me.
you keep saying that?
Because it's a statistic. It's true
Fuck
that
the
women get
statistics.
paid 20%
Says
less
who?
than men.
Says who?
It's
You
such bullshit, to be honest.
So
man.
say
It's
I'm just
true.
gonna throw a number out there, right? Say you make $100,000 on the head, right? Boom.
Boom.
You would make probably more than a lot of money, more money than a lot of men on this block.
Yes. However, if on a average basis, a man,
Who?
the United States of America,
Okay.
when a man and a woman have an equal position, have an equal workload, men get paid 20 to 25% higher.
That was because the
Than
man was
women.
supposed to be working and the woman was supposed to be at home taking care of the children in the home. They weren't supposed to be getting a job in the first place. The man was supposed to
Can
bring
you
home all that
support?
money.
Can you support a woman and a
Nah,
child
not
at
now,
home?
but maybe if
Right.
it's 1971, we could have done that.
I mean, I wish that we lived in those times.
Me too,
But at the
shit.
same time, I
Would've been in
mean,
the
but
mob.
you know what, too, though? We can't say that because, I mean, I
I
can't
don't
say
wish I was in
that
the fucking
because
70s.
No?
it was
Shit.
a way
It
different
was the Wild
world.
West.
And I would
Right
have
here
to
on
deal
May
with
4th.
a
I think
lot
we
of
had more
things a lot
freedoms
of
back
women
then.
had to deal with, like being financially dependent on a man. And you can't, if that man treats you badly, you can't just say, like, "Pfft, you know I don't need you, right?
No,
and
bitch,
just
this is
walk
a
out.
family. We got married till death do us part. You want the way I fucking treat you? Oh, well, you should have thought about that.
Jesus
You know?
Christ! Hold on.
So the only
saying.
way that you feel you can keep a family is together by imprisoning a woman.
No, not at all. I'm actually the bitch in the relationship. Like, oh, baby, I love you so much. Oh, my God, please go. You hungry? I'll go get you food.
I'll
You know,
walk
that's
to
how
Brooklyn.
Yeah, I've done that before. Shit, I walked around Harlem at 3 o'clock in the morning getting some bitch Wendy's, and then she's like, no, they put cheese on. I told you no fucking cheese. And I gotta go back there.
You went back.
I had to go back because I'm a bitch. And what happened in the end anyway? Boom, left me. Fuck you then. And well, actually, I left her in the end. She left me first, and we got back together, and I left her, and then fuck you.
Right.
So, bottom line, don't walk for fucking cheese or whatever the fuck you would.
Just don't go out of your way for
It's
people,
4 for
man.
4.
Because
No,
I noticed
I
when
don't
I was a
think
dick
that
to a
that's
bitch,
true. When
she
you-
was all over me. And then when I was all over the other bitch, oh my God, no, you're too mad. It's like, yo, man, what do you want, man? What the fuck do you
I
want?
think it comes to finding a like-minded person. I
That's
mean,
hard.
I have been taken advantage of a lot of times, like my niceness and my kindness for weakness. But then eventually I leave and then they come back and they cry about it. And then I'm like, oh, sorry. No.
That's fucked up.
But
You gotta take them back every time.
Jesus Christ!
You
You
should.
know what?
when they
No,
took
you
advantage
absolutely
of
do
my
not.
kindness and
How
my
they take
good
advantage?
heart, cheating,
Okay.
lying.
All right.
Even if none of that shit happens, that roller coaster, I am not with the shits. Like even if we like, some days we're on, some days we're off.
Yeah.
Like
I don't have the energy.
I certainly.
I don't even have the energy to fuck barely anymore. But that shit, I definitely don't have the energy for
You
that
are
shit.
not selling yourself for the Tinder candidate
I'm just
right
saying.
now.
I can't get getting on top of you. Ain't gonna be no 45 minutes. It's gonna be 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
You
nothing
on top
wrong
of
with
me,
that.
baby, and that's it. Yeah.
Listen, but that's not that far fetched. Like maybe if you get 8 minutes of power pumps, you
Shit.
can do
Yeah,
what you do.
man. That's all.
A lot
I was
can
gonna
happen in-
say 8 minutes.
A lot
that's
can
what
happen in
you
8
say.
minutes. I'm just
Can't do that 45 minutes no more.
No, that shit is
Can't be doing
another
that.
story for another day. Anywho, what else we got? I was gonna talk about investing in prisons.
Shit.
Forgot what I wanted to
Stop.
say.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
No,
Let's
that's
talk about
real.
that.
But you know, I
Okay.
guess that's it. Meek Millie just got out.
Yeah, I'm about to say we're talking about that Buster.
But I think that's it. Anything else on the agenda? No.
No. I mean,
Well,
I
you
think
too.
that we've said what needs to be said.
Thanks for tuning
There's
in.
so much more. There's always more.
There's always more. We'll be back next week.
Be back next
Fucking
week.
energy in you, man. Jesus.
Really?
Put some pep in your step. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think your fucking fans
Bo
want to
is
hear
a
like, yeah,
sassy
everybody
pants
gets up.
today.
week. Listen up, motherfuckers. Y'all better tune in next week, motherfuckers. We're going to have a great show. We're going to have Meek Mill and motherfucking Nicki Minaj here to talk about their past relationship. And then we're going to talk about Gus Dawn and Slap a Bitch Records. And Chris Brown signed to Slap a Bitch Records for the first time. And how he feels about that. And then we're going to talk to Kanye and say, hey, man, I'm going to fuck your girl. And he's going to be like, yo, dog, everybody can fuck my girl, dog. And I'll be like, yeah, that's right. That's love for everyone.
I
baby.
love you.
Yo, dog. There you go. Have a day reserved. We're out.
Listeners, if you're listening in the podcast app, I need you to go rate this. So make sure you search King Bo Christ or search by the podcast name I Say That to Say This. Leave a 5-star rating, I don't know, a goat emoji or something, some nice words, and hit send. I appreciate you listening. Thank you.